Back at it on this Tuesday. It's the 19th day of February 2019. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life Channel. Back at it. A lot of people had yesterday off. It was a very quiet Monday around the News Ranch. We had some people taking the day off. We had some people kind of floating in and out of the office. Traffic was very light around the Wenatchee Valley yesterday when I snuck out of the office after a long, hard day. I was able to run some errands, take care of some things that I needed to take care of now that I'm back from vacation. And I was amazed. It was so easy to get around town. It was easy because there were a lot of people were just plain weren't working. But, well, it's back to work now, okay? So it may be a Tuesday, but for a lot of people, it feels like a Monday. And it's a chilly one to start our day. We are at, let me take a quick look, see, 16 degrees outside of our studios, and we could get a dusting of snow. That all-important weather forecast is coming up. Looks like we're going to it's going to kind of slide around us, the anticipated snowfall, which, by the way, is later on this afternoon. But the passes are getting hammered right now. They got a winter storm warning in the mountain passes. If you're going to go to the mountain passes, I would go now because it's going to get worse, not better. In fact, conditions are already deteriorating up in the Cascades. We'll get that pass report coming your way. It's very chilly. It's going to continue to be chilly. In fact, I did a little tidbit, little research on this whole internet thing. The daily high temperature has not reached normal this month. Now, you got to remember, when winter started back in December, it was a mild and dry winter through December and all the way through January. It was like, when's winter coming? And then, well, winter came, and now winter is here. It's going to be another chilly day today. Again, a little bit of light snow is distinctly possible. Most of the snow is going to be in the Cascades and on over to the Spokane Valley and the Idaho Panhandle. It's going to kind of move around us, we hope anyway. I, for one, am done with the snow, but the temperatures are going to be chilly. Forecast details are coming up. Sports, not a lot of sports, but whatever we have, we'll get to. Also some news to touch on this Tuesday morning. We'll take a look at today in history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, your obscure holiday for this 19th day of February. And the 4th annual Firewise get-together is this Saturday at the Pybus Public Market. Joe Gluzinski from AAA Insurance is kind of the glue that puts this whole project together. It's a big gathering. Our cameras have been there for the last 3 years. Joe's going to be in here to talk about that in the second half of the program. It's one of the big events, and there's a lot of big events going on this weekend, but that's one of the big ones going on at Pybus, the 4th annual Firewise Day. So we had a lot to touch on, not a lot to get to, so let's not waste any more time. 3 minutes after the hour. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras, probably the highlight of the program. Megan, by the way, is in control. She gets to decide where we're going, and I want to say that has got to be Badger Mountain. Am I correct, Megan? Megan says I am correct, so I'm off to a good start there. You can see the high clouds, a lot of snow up on the plateau, covering up that winter wheat, which can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. We don't have any wind or rain in the forecast. It's a really cool view of the Wenatchee Valley proper up at the very top of Badger Mountain. Camera 2. Megan says, let's go see what's going up on, that's Blag, I want to say. Blag Mountain, that's above Peshastin, looking down over the Bavarian village of Leavenworth. You can see it down there. You don't have to squint. You can see it. Great shot of the Cascades. That's an incredible view. I've actually been up to the Blag Mountain site. It takes quite a while to get there. Lots of switchbacks, and this time of the year, of course, you're not driving there at all. You got to use a snowcat or a snowmobile, but that's one of the reasons that these Sky-Fi cameras are such a big hit with our viewers. We get to see incredible views like that. You don't have to build a house there when you just put up a high-definition camera and look at it. That's from Blag Mountain, high above Peshastin. Camera number 3 is a monument. Hey, I'm 3 for 3. Wow, so we're going out to Quincy, the beautiful Quincy area. Opportunities unlimited out there. So Quincy is basically off to your left a little bit. Everything's covered in snow, so it's really kind of hard to get your bearings. But there's the beautiful Quincy area. All of these cameras, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless, which means, of course, you don't have to have fiber to your house to get screaming fast internet technology. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. 4th camera, see if I can go 4 for 4. That is, oh boy, she's going to make me work. I'm going to say Hose Landing. Chelan Falls. Oh, gosh, darn it. I almost made it. Oh, well, what do you do? Beautiful view there. My guess is that body of water there is quite chilly. I wouldn't go swimming anywhere near. In fact, even being outside is not going to be particularly pleasant today. In fact, we just have really a extended period of winter weather that's just going to be hanging around for quite some time. We had a beautiful day yesterday. 28 was our high, and we had sunshine. And by the way, the 28-degree temperature that we hit yesterday afternoon was exactly what the National Weather Service was predicting. So kudos to those guys. But that 28-degree high temperature, 15 degrees below normal. Here is your forecast, and all of these temperatures that you're going to see are below normal. We're supposed to be in the lower 40s for our afternoon high by the time we get to mid to late February. But it's going to be a chilly one today. There is a storm system. It's taking its sweet time getting here. So we are going to get just a little dusting of snow, maybe a half an inch during daylight today. It's certainly going to be cloudy. Whatever snow we get is going to be late in the afternoon, early in the evening. In fact, we have a map to show you. Let's go ahead and take a look-see. So pick out where you live, and you'll be able to see your snowfall for today and Wednesday. As you can see, the Wenatchee Valley just going to get a little skiff, although it looks like that little blip that you see, the East Wenatchee Bench could get snow accumulations of maybe an inch. But on the valley floor proper, doesn't look like we're going to get much of anything. Obviously, the farther east you go, the Spokane Valley and the Idaho Panhandle is going to get quite a bit of snow, and heavy snow expected in the major mountain passes. So again, for the valley proper, less than half an inch today, less than half an inch tonight. Take a look at the nationwide temperature map. A great deal of the United States is socked in some cold weather. Look at that. A good 2/3 of the country will see temperatures below normal or well below normal for the rest of this week, end of the weekend, into the early part of next week. You want to get warmth and sunshine? Go to Florida. I mean, even places that are traditionally warm and sunny this time of the year. Arizona, Southern California, they're dealing with some inclement weather. And look at the upper Midwest. Look at the Dakotas and eastern Montana. It's just going to be chilly everywhere for quite some time. Back to the forecast for the Wenatchee Valley. Wednesday is not looking too bad. A mixture of clouds and sun, high of about 32, 33 degrees. No real snow expected. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy, a light skiff, not going to stick to the ground, 21, 20, right around there for the overnight low. We'll jump ahead to Thursday, sunshine for the most part, high of 33. We could use that. That's going to be warm considering what we're going to be dealing with. And then mostly cloudy skies, off and on snow. No, again, no significant accumulation. So we have a round of snow coming in today, not going to really affect us a great deal. We get a break Wednesday night into Thursday, then another round of snow comes in into the weekend. The big temperatures, the big story are these chilly temperatures. Afternoon highs, overnight lows, cold, downright cold. Now, we say, wait, it's February, but we're supposed to be warming up this time of year, and we are not. So that is your forecast from the National Weather Service. 8 minutes after the hour. Let's go up to the major mountain passes. If you're going to travel in the mountain passes, please, ladies and gentlemen, use an automobile. That's a live shot of I-90. And as I mentioned at the top of the hour, things are not going to be particularly pretty up there in the Cascades. I-90 right now, traction tires are advised. You'll find snow and slush on the roadway. It is snowing on Snoqualmie Pass. Let's take you a live shot to Stevens Pass, which was very busy with skiers yesterday. Traction tires advised on US 2. Some snow and ice on the roadway. It is snowing on Stevens, but not real hard. Blewett Pass, no advisories, no restrictions. It's not snowing. Nothing's really going on Blewett. That is going to change. There's a winter storm warning that starts at noon today for all of the Cascade passes. It goes until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Heavy snow is going to come down in the mountain passes. 3 to 7 inches today, 7 to 11 inches tonight, an additional 2 to 4 inches tomorrow. This is your window to go right now as this day progresses. It's going to get pretty bad. The winter storm warning kicks in at noon, goes all the way till 6 a.m. tomorrow. Heavy snow on all of the major mountain passes. Stevens, Blewett, Snoqualmie, even White Pass is going to get a lot of snow. So winter driving conditions are going to be prevalent in the major mountain passes for the next 48 hours or so. Now, you know, it's 9 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's your Tuesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 42 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
I got into medicine because I love it. I have always had this love of the ideal of the family medical provider. I really, really enjoy those kind of visits where it's not a specific problem so much as it is talking about ways to live a healthier, happier life. I'm excited to play a role in the health and wellness of everyone in the Wenatchee Valley. I look forward to seeing you at CBCH.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
11 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Overcast skies, 16 degrees. Outside of our studios, light skiff of snow, most of it this afternoon into the evening hours. Less than a half an inch tonight, spilling over into Wednesday. A little break on Tuesday, on Thursday, and then another storm system. Again, not particularly strong, but we could get some snow in the valley floor again for the weekend, and temperatures very, very cool. Here's what's making headlines. The public's going to have a chance to meet Michael Musick tomorrow. Michael is the first of 3 candidates for the Wenatchee School District Superintendent job. Musick is currently the interim superintendent of the Lake Oswego School District. That's in Oregon. He has over 30 years of educational experience. The public forum is at the Wenatchee High School Commons from 3:30 to 5:30. Then the same schedule will be followed tomorrow and then Thursday for the other 2 candidates, with their names being released the day before the forums. The board will then have a meeting with the candidates each evening from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Spring Hill Suites conference room. Heavy snowfall in recent weeks has just been a boom for skiers and operators at the Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort high above the Wenatchee Valley. The resort is now open every day through February 25th, and they're having one of their biggest years ever. Marketing Director Tony Hickok told our very own NCW Life channel yesterday.
Welcome up to the base area here at Mission Ridge. It's been an absolutely wonderful year to date so far. We've seen about 120% of average snowfall. We've had a massive month of February for snow with over 50 inches just in the first 2 weeks, made for some of the best days in recent memory, not just this season, but of people's memories all time. We've been having just an absolutely wonderful season out on the mountain. We've seen 3 of the top guest visit days all time here at Mission Ridge this year. A ton of folks are coming up, enjoying the slopes, and we're getting a lot of new folks out on the hill as well with our Freedom Pass program, and also with $25 beginner night lessons at night during our night skis on Saturday nights, with the last one is actually coming up this Saturday night. So absolutely great season. We're looking forward to some more snowfall, but as you can see today, no snow in the forecast. Just a beautiful bluebird day. Couldn't ask for anything more for a holiday Monday.
In other news, Bitcoin operators are waiting for rule changes in the city of Wenatchee, and guess what? They're going to have to wait a while longer. Wenatchee City Council has given staff members another 6 months to finish work on a set of new zoning rules that deal with issues such as noise generation. The city will continue to enforce rules that were established last February, among which includes a ban on the use of cargo containers for cryptocurrency mining. The existing rules also require approval to operate from the Chelan County PUD and the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries. Last month, the council was asked to consider amendments to the existing rules that would have banned Bitcoin mining in storefronts and require such activities to blend in with the surrounding properties as much as possible. The shot you just saw was the brand new Wenatchee City Hall chambers. Well, U.S. Representative Kim Schreier will be in Wenatchee on Saturday for a public forum at Wenatchee City Hall. Now, there is limited seating, and because of that, people who plan to attend are being asked to register and submit questions in advance. The forum will be from 11 a.m. to noon in the council chambers. Again, this is on Saturday. It's at the 2nd floor of City Hall. Schreier is a Democrat, was elected, of course, last November to replace retiring 8th District Representative Dave Reichert. Well, all this week, we're bringing you segments from our latest NCW Life Channel magazine featuring the Chelan Douglas CASA program. And here's another part of this week-long feature with volunteer Gretchen Milnes.
My name's Gretchen Milnes, and I am a CASA volunteer. So I've been with the CASA program, which stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. I've been with this program for about 5 years, and we have 5 staff members. The rest of us are volunteers. So it is fitting that we're in the car because we rack up a lot of miles here. It's a privilege to be a CASA volunteer. So we are actually technically called a guardian ad litem. None of us have to take a case. We're given an option. Maybe they'll tell us a little bit about the case, and they try to find someone that is suited for that particular child. And as soon as we're assigned to the case, or we at least look at the case and maybe go meet the child or something, then we were actually appointed by the courts. I go to court quite often, actually, and it's either in Douglas County or Chelan County. That's where my cases are. The social workers are amazing, and they just do a fantastic job of trying to place the kids locally. But there is a real shortage on foster parents, and also a lot of these children have seen such trauma, or been exposed or experienced such trauma, that a lot of their behaviors are necessitating therapeutic behavior homes, or even larger than therapeutic behavior homes. And we don't have quite as many of those around here as is needed. So I drive a lot, and on one of my cases, round trip, I drive 400 miles to see my kids. And our CASA rules are that we're to see our children twice a month. And I have a fairly big caseload. We're there advocating for the best interest of these children.
Good stuff from Caitlin Heddersheet, one of our top content producers. The entire NCW Life magazine featuring the good folks at CASA is available for you to watch on this very television station. Check local listings, as we used to say, or go to our website at ncwlife.com, and we'll have snippets of that show throughout the course of the week. Look at the bottom of your screen. That's one of the many ways you can get a hold of us here on the NCW Life channel. We embrace technology, so we have like email, which is pretty cool, news at ncwlife.com. We have Facebook, which is kind of cool. You can private message us there if there's something that's on your mind, or maybe there's a news story that you think warrants our attention. You can go to our website, ncwlife.com, and contact us. Use the icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call. You see the number there on your screen. Get a hold of us if there's something out there that you think we need to touch base with. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. Grant Olson is back. Grant took yesterday off. He'll be back in the anchor chair tonight. So the news with Grant Olson, sports with Eric Granstrom, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. What happened on this Tuesday? We put it together in a little package we like to call the news. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, available online at ncwlife.com. And we post a link on our Facebook page as well. So there's no excuse to miss the evening news with Grant Olson, 5, 6, and 10. It's 18 minutes after that. We're going to take a 1-minute break. There's not a lot of sports to get to. We're in that shoulder season now. All the winter sports, with the exception of basketball, is done in the world of preps. So it's pretty light in the world of sports, but we're talking baseball, and I'm all for that. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm working today.
I've got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Good-looking shot that we just saw there from the top of Badger Mountain. I am Dan Kuntz. 15 degrees, overcast skies, some light snow, spittling, maybe a half an inch this afternoon and into tonight with high temperatures all through the rest of this week and into the weekend below freezing. A reminder, it's still winter, but quietly, with very few familiar names, the Seattle Mariners have begun spring training. They're down in Peoria, of course. You guys, all these household names, we all know them. Kyle Lewis, Evan White, Shed Long, Justin Dunn. I don't know who these people are. Nobody knows who they are, really, but it makes it easy to be quiet.
Same pose, but just a couple more around. Here we go. Go ahead and grab bat. Oh, yeah. You got to bring the bat around. There you go. Got to see that. Yes. That's good. Very nice. Very nice.
Cool. Did you see my wink? You got it, the wink.
And then give yourself a little distance over here. Like that. That's exactly what we're going to do, too. Hey, you're stealing my shot, man. And same sort of thing. So half step this way.
I'm Young Hanseo. This is Marco Gonzalez from the Seattle Mariners, wishing you the best at the very first MLB Cup in Korea. Do your best and make sure to have some fun.
Of course, it's not all new faces. They're names that you're going to recognize if you're a Mariner fan. Mitch Haniger, Kyle Seager's back, Marco Gonzalez is back. They were all hamming it up, as you saw, for the cameras on Picture Day yesterday. It's the first time a lot of the new players have ever worn, officially, a Seattle Mariner uniform. The team preparing for their first Cactus League games. That will be Thursday against Oakland. The oldest Mariner continues his playing comeback, and manager Scott Service says he couldn't be happier.
He's in. He's ready to go. He's got. He takes it as serious as anybody in that room. That's what's allowed him to keep playing all these years. He'll be out there running around. He'll have as much energy, if not more, than the rest of the guys. It's just how he's wired. So we'll get him ready to go. He's always ready. He's working out almost every day of the year. It's just what makes Ichiro. So he'd be a great example for our young players. Our young players are going to be blown away. Like, this guy's how old? How long has he been doing this? That's why he's the greatest. He's awesome. He was in the clubhouse. He was working out with the guys. It was just like he was playing the game until the game started. But as many of you know, the minute that we got the final out, he was the first one out of the dugout to make sure he was in the line to shake hands and stuff. So he was really trying to do everything he could to remain a part of the team. I thought it was a great resource for me to have him around. He has a different way of looking at the game. Last year, would often sit down with him every 2 or 3 weeks, get his opinions on maybe our team, different situations that come up, and it would never be the way that I would be looking at it. He always looked at it a little bit differently, so I enjoyed visiting with him. But he's all about getting back on the field and contributing on the field. So we'll see what it looks like this spring.
Also back, trying to get a roster spot after spending the last couple of seasons in AAA for the Angels, Dustin Ackley. There's a name from the past. So far, the Mariners have him working in the outfield. Now, of course, the Mariners and the A's have the earliest opening day in Major League Baseball history. They got 2 games in Japan to start the season just about a month from now. That's pretty early. Now, we hope to tell you exactly when and where the area local high school boys and girls basketball teams are going to be playing for the regional playoff round in state this morning, but we don't know yet. The WIA still hasn't posted the brackets yet, and the reason is there were games played as late as last night to determine seedings in various districts, so we don't know. What we do know is the RPI, or the ratings percentage index for each team, and there they are. This is a statistical system used to comparatively rank teams. So in the final RPI, Cashmere girls are number 4, Cashmere boys are number 6, Antioch girls are number 12, the Wenatchee boys are number 14, all in their respective classifications, of course. The higher your RPI, the more likely you are to play your regional game close to home. We all know that. No matter win or lose, both Cashmere teams will play in the first round of the state 1A tournament in Yakima beyond regionals this weekend. For the Antioch girls and the Wenatchee boys, they have a win or your season's over scenario. Hopefully, we'll have the full schedule available in time for Sports Tonight with Eric. I'm pretty sure we will, so stay close for that. And as soon as we get the brackets, we'll get them up and running for you, all right? And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday. It's 24 minutes after the hour. Don't forget, we're talking Firewise, the Firewise event at Pybus. The 4th annual one is this Saturday. We'll talk about that in the second half of the program. Don't go anywhere for that. It's time for the obscure holiday, always celebrated on February 19th. The classic combination of chocolate and mint makes it chocolate mint Day. I love that. That just looks so good right now, doesn't it? Oh, it'll go right to my hips, right? Who invented Chocolate Mint Day? The United States National Confectioners Association. I don't care. It's still good. There's a lot of chocolate holidays, by the way. I looked this up. There's Chocolate Pudding Day. There's Milk Chocolate Day. There's Chocolate Pecan Pie Day. There's Chocolate Milkshake Day. There's Chocolate Cupcake Day. There's Chocolate Covered Anything Day and Chocolate Cake Day. But introducing chocolate and mint together is as good as it gets. It's also my favorite creamer, coffee creamer, is chocolate and mint, but I can't afford it. So celebrate the classic combination of chocolate and mint by having something involving chocolate and mint today. Kind of takes the thinking out of that now, doesn't it? It is the 19th day of February. 141 years ago today, Thomas Edison invented my favorite thing, the phonograph. Yes, today is the 141st birthday of the record player. Thomas Edison invented the phonograph. The phonograph looks nothing like it does today. Now, people have been twiddling around with capturing recorded sound. Thomas Edison was the first one who could record and then play back that sound on the same piece of equipment, and that was the breakthrough. Happy 141st birthday to the phonograph. Thank you, Thomas Edison. We have to embrace our history, good, bad, or otherwise, and this is bad. Executive Order 966 was signed by U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt on this date 77 years ago today. The relocation of Japanese Americans to internment camps. It's known now as the Day of Remembrance, which was first celebrated in this very state 40 years ago today. 2/3 of the people of Japanese ancestry. Now remember, these were American citizens. They just happened to be of Japanese ancestry. About 70,000 of them, American citizens, were incarcerated during the war years. And by the way, not a single Japanese American citizen or even a Japanese national residing in the United States was ever found guilty of sabotage or espionage. It's a black mark in this nation's history, and Gerald Ford did his best to erase it, and he did in a way 35 years later when Executive Order 966 gave way to Executive Order 94417 signed by Gerald R. Ford. It happened on this date, February 19th, 1976. So the relocation of the Japanese Americans to internment camps, the original executive order signed by FDR, was rescinded by President Ford in the ceremony you see there 43 years ago today. Still didn't get the job done. 28 minutes after the hour, let's do some birthdays. Happy birthday, Nicholas Copernicus. There he is. There's Nick. How are you? He lived to the age of 70, which was amazing in the 15th century to be able to do that. He did it all. You name it, he did it all. He was a lawyer. He was a mathematician. He was an astronomer, a physician, a translator, a teacher. He was in politics. He was a diplomat. He was an economist. And of course, he is best well known for formulating the theory, the model that the sun is the middle of the universe, not the earth. Of course, that was his only mistake. We all know that the earth is the center of the universe. Outside of that, he had a pretty good career. Nicholas Copernicus, born in this state in 1473. The legendary actor Lee Marvin was born in this date in 1924. He was a war hero, you know. Served with distinction as a United States Marine in the Pacific Theater in World War II, and then he went on to Hollywood. The man who shot Liberty Valance, he played Liberty Valance, The Wild One, Cat Ballou, The Dirty Dozen. He sang in Paint Your Wagon. Turns out he couldn't sing. Lee Marvin was born in the state in 1924, passed away in 1987 at the age of 63. Get out the rye bread and mustard, Grandma. It's grand salami time. Dave Niehaus. We miss Dave. Would have been 83 today, 84 today. Would have been 84 years old today. It's hard to believe. He's been gone now 9 years. The longtime voice of the Seattle Mariners. Of the 5,385 Mariner baseball games played in his lifetime, he broadcast 5,284 of them. The legendary Dave Niehaus, born in this state in 1935. Can call Bob Dylan, call this gentleman America's greatest living poet, and I think Bob is spot on. Well, maybe Bob, too, would be the legendary Smokey Robinson. He's written over 4,000 songs, a leader of the Miracles, a legend among legends, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 1987. As good as it got. He sang, he wrote, he produced, he did it all. Smokey Robinson, there he is, 79 years old today. Wow, it's the bottom of the hour. This show is flying right by. When we come back, Mike Magnotti, the environmentalist, That'll be a brand new, everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion. You've never seen it. That's a couple of minutes away. And then patiently standing by as long as Joe didn't run off, Joe Gluzinski will be dropping by to talk about Firewise Day 2019 this Saturday at the Pybus. It's an important conversation. You don't want to miss that. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Live this morning from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Put winter weather in its place with a new Cub Cadet snow thrower from Rose Tractor. Hi, this is Corey. Let us help you get through the season with our line of Cub Cadet snow throwers. When it comes to snow, never let winter weather get in your way. The Cub Cadet X Series line of snow throwers offers 3 levels of snow clearing power and a host of award-winning models. Get ahead of the snow. Let us help you get into the right snow thrower for the job. Rose Tractor, family owned and operated, located at the corner of 3rd and Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So my wife says to me, you need new clothes. There's a hole in these pants and there's stains on this shirt. Well, the hole is somewhere where no one can really see it, you know, and the stains really, unless you really look, you're not gonna see them. And besides, I hate shopping, and I'm using the word hate here. So I tell myself to replace these clothes because of some minor imperfections is an environmental crime because of the unnecessary use of new resources needed to make new clothes that replace these old clothes that still have some utility. So I'm not a slob. I'm an environmentalist. Yeah. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color FX in Cashmere. Color FX offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV Advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
We are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. The 4th annual Firewise Day is this Saturday at the Pybus Public Market. It's important for everybody to pop down to the Pybus and learn a lot about what Firewise Day is all about. I personally have been to the last 3 Firewise Days, including the very first one, which of course came after the terrible fires of 2015, the Sleepy Hollow fires, and that was a lesson for everybody that nobody is immune to wildfires in North Central Washington. And the glue, if you will, who puts it all together, Joe Gluzinski. Ooh, that was a play on words, Joe.
Unintended.
Unintended.
Thanks,
Joe is part of the local AAA family here in the Wenatchee Valley, and he's been the one who's kind of organized all this, including, we'll start out with the first Firewise Day. Again, as we mentioned, Joe, we all remember the summer of 2015. If you were here, it was a terrible, terrible summer, with all the homes in the Sleepy Hollow area burning, and then up in the terrace, and it was just a nasty, ugly fire year. We haven't had anything like that since then, but that planted the seed for the first Firewise Day back in 2016?
I watched the 28 homes, I believe it was, burn up in Broadview that day. I was about a mile downwind of the flames and the homes burning, the embers drifting, and I watched my neighbors panic. And I thought, oh my gosh, if they're panicking on a level 1 evacuation, what if we're on a level 2 or 3? What if there's a wall of flames coming through town, as there was up at Broadview that day? People might run each other over trying to flee. So I felt relevant to the solution. I didn't know why yet, but I felt relevant. And then I participated in an event called Wildfires and Us down at the PAC. And during that meeting, Peter Goldmark, the at that time Washington State DNR Commissioner of Public Lands, said, "I believe it's up to the insurance industry to lead the charge here." And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm an insurance agent. I am relevant. And so I went to Mike Burnett, our fire chief, and met with him for an hour one day. And he gave me the go-ahead to do something. And from that came the Firewise Day series.
And Mike has been to all of them. I interviewed him, I know. He's been to all of them. And that was important. It's one thing for somebody in your line of work to kind of drive the snow shovel, for lack of a better term, but if you don't have DNR and the U.S. Forest Service and firefighters and land people and river, if you don't have those people there, there's no reason to put on the event to begin with, but you roped them all in.
It was an easy rope. They were on board. All I had to do was ask, and probably 90 to 95% of the organizations who I've invited have attended every year. It was a really good turnout and a really good retention with the same folks coming back year to year.
Do you think the number one thing that people took away from the terrible fires of 2015 is that nobody is immune? You can live in, you can have a warehouse along the Columbia River in downtown Wenatchee and it can burn to the ground in a wildfire?
It was certainly a wake-up call. I don't think anybody expected that spot fire that happened at the packaging or the recycling center to happen, and the catastrophe that was avoided by the volunteer firefighters and the city of Wenatchee, or Chelan County and Douglas County, and all the other responders that came in. They really saved the day. It could have been much worse.
So you decide, okay, let's do this Firewise event. We'll have it in February of 2016. This was 4 years ago. Now what? What are we going to do? Do people to set up a booth? Walk me through that process from 4 years ago. Okay, we got all these people on board. Now what are we going to do?
Well, every year it's changed. The only thing that's constant is change. Change is good. And we take feedback every year and we try and improve. This year, the event has expanded. We're firing on all cylinders. The first cylinder would be the Pybus Concourse. We've got the majority of the concourse reserved for the event. We've got over 20 different tables set up where folks can walk around and get information, ask questions. Each table will have a sign that says "Ask Me" on it to prompt the public to ask questions that are relevant to why that participant is there. For example, if you were standing at the Upper Columbia River Salmon Recovery Board table and somebody came up to you, you might not know, why are you here? But the "Ask Me" sign might say something like, "Ask me what happens to water for salmon habitat after a wildfire." And then they can have a conversation about that. So the event's really about conversations and education, and then trying to get people to act upon the information that they've learned that day.
Everybody is an expert in their field who will be there, and you look at the list, and we'll go through some of these as a matter of fact. This doesn't happen without sponsors. I know you want to thank your sponsors right out of the box, because these are the people who said, we're on board, let's make it happen. You got some pretty heavy hitters here.
We do, and it's a really broad support within the insurance industry and within the region. For example, the Chelan County PUD, AAA Insurance Agency of Washington, Chelan County, Safeco Insurance. Who do I
got it right here. People's Bank is on there, the Schultzes.
Dara and Ryan Schultz from Leavenworth.
Right. So, yeah, and they again, no sponsors.
These are our main sponsors. We have other sponsors as well.
Obviously, you had some sort of committee. You're not doing this solo. You had other people who are helping you put this thing together. Is there any particular people you want to praise specifically? Or I got the list here too, if you want it.
Yeah, I've got them right here. Lisa Robinson, Al Murphy, Suzanne Hartman, Brian Brett, Amanda Newell, Brad Brisbine, Callie Klein, Mike Burnett, Barbara Carrillo, Kimberly Craig, John Riley, Steve Robinson, Ali Laris, Jacoby Shaw, Soledad Holgan, and Nyla Duffy from AAA.
What were those meetings like?
They were 50 minutes. They were run very well organized. I prepared and brought in Thai food that my wife and I prepared in advance of the meeting because it was a working lunch. We'd start at 12:05 and we'd end at 12:55 like clockwork so that the worker bees could get back to their offices by 1, theoretically. The meetings went really well.
You mentioned this is the biggest one yet, and change is good. I'm a huge fan of change, but there's also some things that you've been done every year for the previous 3 Firewises that are back again this year. Talk about some of the things that people know are going to be there because they've been in the Firewise before.
I think we have that art sample. Go ahead and show that to the crowd.
You can talk about it.
Here's an example of some of the art that folks will do at the Firewise Day. On the flip side, you'll see this is Saddle Rock right here with some beautiful dogwoods in bloom. But on the back, and flip it vertically.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. There's the other vertical. Yeah, there you go. Helicopter.
Here, we'll just do diagonal. How's that sound?
Helicopter dropping fire retardant over a fire. So people can come out and experience the Firewise Day, learn something, and paint their own certificate of completion that they can hang on the wall. And it says right here, artist's signature. We've left room for the child of all ages artists to sign it so that the parents are more obligated to hang it up on the wall and remind them of what they learned during the Firewise Day, and then take action on it during their spring cleanup at their home.
A lot of public agencies are going to be involved here. Chelan County Fire District number 1, Chelan County PUD, the city of Wenatchee will be there. That means Steve King, Mr. Energy, will be there, one of my favorite people. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust, who does great work. And there's some that people are going to scratch their head and they're going, why is like the master gardeners here? What does that have to do with anything? Well, they have a very important role to play in that, don't they?
The master gardeners are one of our greatest hits during the event. They do a presentation in the boardroom behind the Local Tel Event Center. every year we get them involved. They're one of the most popular tables out in the concourse. Folks come out and they ask about their gardening needs and what they can do to make their home more fire safe. The biggest topic I see within the Master Gardeners is the elimination of arborvitae. Arborvitae is a very popular plant, shrub for privacy screening, but there are other plants that are less flammable and also give you that privacy. So you can go and learn about how to landscape your home and make it less flammable.
It's amazing how many people, this is one of the big things, as you mentioned before, that I learned, that people don't really think when they landscape, say it's a new home or they bought an existing home, they want to change the landscaping. They forget that trees and bushes get bigger, they grow, and it may be fine now, but 10 years from now, you're going to have a tree underneath the eave of your house, and if that tree catches fire, your house is going to catch on fire.
Ladder fuel, yes,
Yeah,
that's correct.
It's just amazing. So basically, you can come and go as you please. Everybody will have their booths, but there's also some scheduled stuff as well, and some things some presentations and things like that you want to be a part of. But we're going to talk about that when we come back. Again, we're talking to, again, no pun intended, Joe Gluzinski, the glue of this organization. We're talking Firewise. Some of the things that you can watch and some of the things that you can participate in outside of the painting for the kids is some of the things we'll talk about when we come back with Joe. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. Live this morning from studio, pick a number, Joe.
12.
12 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Go Seahawks.
There you go.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frappuccino.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Welcome back to Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on this Tuesday. Dan Kuntz alongside Joe Gluzinski, who's the local AAA dude from Wenatchee. By the way, the last time I just got through from a trip to Phoenix, Arizona. You got some. If you're a dedicated traveler, you got to at least pop into the lobby of your place. You got some really cool stuff for the serious traveler.
AAA is a very large travel agency, so yes, please come on down.
Yeah,
and
they
check
got
us
some
out.
unique things that you want to take on the next trip. So we talked about it. You walk into the Pybus, the main concourse for Firewise on Saturday, and you'll see all of the tables. The smoke jumpers will be there. The repellers. Don't they have the big
repellers
dummy?
will be there, yes.
Yeah, the big dummy like they've had in years past.
Yeah,
What it looks like.
mhm.
They'll be there. Columbia Brakes, U.S. Forest Service, Chelan County Emergency Management, on and on and on and on and on and on down the line. That's in the main concourse. And then in the local event center, there are some other things going on. So talk about some of the presentations that'll be going on that you can pop in and participate in that's not in the concourse.
One of the main focuses for this year's event is to bring families down so that the kids will bring the parents with them. So we have a lot of kids activities. The Local Tel Event Center room is going to have 5 separate 10 to 15 minute presentations that are going to be put out by Native Americans coming down from Colville tribal lands. They've been doing Firewise on on tribal lands for about 15 years. We're talking retired fire marshals and professionals. They're going to have 5 different programs for the kids. Each one is 10 to 15 minutes long. They're designed for more of your grade school age kids, these particular programs, but children of all ages are welcome to attend.
Okay. And that's in the Local Tel Event Center. And as you mentioned before, in the conference room, which is adjacent to the Local Tel Event Center, that's where the Chelan Douglas Master Gardeners will be, right?
They sure will. Could I read the list of
Go ahead, Joe,
the presentations for the kids of all ages are Fire and Water, Cultural Use of Small Campfires, Smokey Bear Story, Wildlife Escapes Wildfires, Beaver Steals Fish, a Salish Coyote Story. Each of these presentations are going to be 10 to 15 minutes long. You can attend one or you can attend all 5.
Okay. And that's perfect for my limited attention span. And then in the boardroom, now we've talked about the era of mega fires before. In fact, we had the creators of this.
Dr. Paul Hesper, Sarah Rawls.
Been on this program.
Jeff Ossenberg.
Before. If you've never seen it, you really need to see it. North 40 plays a significant role, but it's not a traditional documentary film. It's an interactive kind of a film, and it teaches you the big lesson is that you just can't put out a forest fire and walk away. It doesn't work that way, because eventually it's going to come back and bite you. It's a fascinating film and fascinating program.
There's a lot of content in the era of megafires. We're going to be having a 20-minute digital presentation of era megafires in the boardroom right beside the Local Tel Event Center. That's going to be at 10 o'clock. Then at 10:30, the Douglas County Fire District 2 is going to present Ready, Set, Go, how to prepare for your evacuation, what to plan, what to bring. At 11 o'clock, Al Murphy from the Master Gardeners will do a live presentation, followed by Pateros Mayor, Carlene Anders. She's a volunteer firefighter who fought the Sleepy Hollow Fire and the Pateros Fire. The mayor of Pateros, she's going to come down and talk about Pateros's post-fire recovery.
Which has been remarkable. Pateros strong. They're doing good.
They sure have. They've been through an awful lot, the whole community. And then at 12 o'clock, Native American Use of Fire by Soledad Holguin.
Okay. By the way, I haven't asked Joe this. Joe, how much does this cost?
Oh, the whole event's free.
There you go. So
free, open to the public, open to everybody.
And free is a good price everywhere I've been. Everything gets going at 10 a.m., so my advice is you get up, you have a nice breakfast, you go down to Pybus, grab your cup of coffee, all the businesses will be open. And then you do your thing. You can wander around, talk to these people. They're all experts in their field, and you're going to take something away from this. Whether you live in an apartment in downtown Wenatchee or in the foothills or wherever, you're going to learn something, aren't you?
We are. In fact, even if you already know everything, come on down and connect and network with the people that are in the same circle as you. Sure. It's just going to elevate the conversation and going to create more of a buzz about the whole event. One new thing I forgot to mention about this year's event is that we are going to have a chipper inside the building. And if you get a passport from the AAA table, you can walk around, and out of the 20 plus tables in the concourse, you go up to a minimum of 10 out of the 20 plus, and you engage in conversation, ask them a question, they'll stamp you on your passport, and if you do a minimum of 10, then you can enter your passport into a drawing for an hour worth of free chipper service. Somebody will come out and take your debris and run it through the chipper and get it out of there. So that's another new thing that we're adding this year.
As Joe mentioned, please bring the kids, because not only can you do this artwork, which is really cool, and you'll get a nice certificate and all that other stuff, but there's things that are specific to the kids, and that's the best part. Because I want to go.
Smokey Bear.
Smokey Bear is going to be there.
Smokey Bear, the man himself, the legend, the myth.
Yeah, he'll be there as well. It is Saturday. This Saturday, it starts at 10 a.m., goes to 1 o'clock. It's only 3 hours. That's it. Have you thought about expanding? Because it's bigger than it's ever been before. Have you thought about expanding the hours, or people are busy and we'll come in and we'll do our 3 hours and not have to blow our whole Saturday?
This event is run exclusively by volunteers.
Okay.
And with respect to their time, we've compressed the event down to 3 hours because we found that the window where most people are at Pybus are from 10 to 1 o'clock. So we want to give our volunteers a break and show respect to them. And for all of our volunteers out there, you're going to be treated like royalty. So looking forward to having you all down there.
We've talked about STEM on this program, science, technology, engineering, and math. They play a role in this too. I see it's in the notes here. You're encouraging some of the STEM students and teachers to come down.
One of the things that we learned through the planning committee was that other events have been drawing more youth down to Pybus. As a result, we hired a marketing person for this event, and the conversation came up about how to drive down the kids and the families. And STEM and STEAM is being taught in the schools. So we decided to incorporate STEM and STEAM into this event. So kids, come on down, ask those STEM and STEAM questions of all of our agencies and partners, and take it back to your class and share with it on Monday.
We've had, we talked about the terrible fires of 2015, and then things were pretty quiet, really, all things considered, fairly benign. In 2016, 2017, last year's fire season had some issues, but for the most part, as the farther and farther we get from the devastating Broadview fire, the Sleepy Hollow fire, the Pateras fire, our people kind of just, it's not in the front of their head anymore, and you gotta hammer it to them and say, hey, the danger is still there. Yeah, we've learned a lot from what happened 5 years ago, but there's still more to learn. Is that concern that people, well, that came and went, we're done with that?
When this event was started, it was named the first annual Wenatchee Valley Firewise Day. And there's a reason for that. Obviously, we're not going to change everybody in 1 year in one Saturday. It's more of a process. So the idea is that we knew that we were going to be living with wildfires for the rest of our lives and our children's, etc. So we wanted to do something that was longer term. Even when there's no fire in Wenatchee, we still get smoke coming down from Canada.
Every year now, it seems that way. Every
Even
August.
Seattle got smoke from Canada.
Yeah.
So there's a nice little wake-up call. But in addition to what happens here, we have the fires down in California, the tragic fire in Napa the year before, the one this year in the Redding area, Paradise, California. I have a friend who lost his home there. Yeah. He described evacuating and having trees on both sides of the road blow up as he was stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is real, and we read the news, and we see it's just not happening maybe every year in the city of Wenatchee, but the smoke is all around us, and the next fire is next season, this season.
We have fires every year, that there's no doubt. It's funny, you brought up Canada and you brought up California. Have there been other areas, other geographic areas who have called you up and said, Joe, I understand you do this Firewise thing. Think about doing the same thing. Can you help us out? Is word about these kinds of events spreading to other communities in the West or anyplace else?
Well, you're an early adapter, I would have to say. I have had participation from as far away as New England. I had a gentleman come out and volunteer and attend the event for 2 years in a row. He's a supervisor, a claim supervisor within the insurance industry. I believe that the formula for this event could easily be replicated and put on by many, many, many other communities. And with your help in filming the event this Saturday, my hope is to get that out to other communities and also our legislators. I was at a meeting a few weeks ago. We had Senator Brad Hawkins there. We had Hillary France, the Director of Public Lands for the Washington State DNR. And one of the topics was educating the schools and children and bringing this information into the schools. So my hope is that this Firewise Day may get played in the schools soon.
Here's a tip for you before I forget. If you're not sure about your house or your home or your ranch or whatever it is, take pictures. Walk all the way around, take pictures of your property, and bring it down to Firewise. You can walk up to fire districts, and you can walk up to people who know what they're talking about. You can show them pictures on your phone and say, this is where I live, and this is my landscaping, these are my plants, and these are my trees. Am I okay? You know, I abut an orchard. Am I okay? Am I Firewise where my footprint is? And they'll help you out, because the last thing the firefighters want to do is fight fires. They want to sit there and play cribbage. Maybe do the occasional inspection, and that's about it. The 4th annual Firewise Day this Saturday at Pybus Public Market from 10 a.m. To 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It is absolutely free. Everybody is invited to attend, and though it only lasts 3 hours, you're going to get 3 hours worth of entertainment and information out of it. Joe, thanks for coming by.
Well, thank you,
I appreciate it. Have yourself a great Tuesday. All right.
My pleasure.
Everybody, yeah, it goes for you too. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.